Dan Illman, Mike Beer, race number 5 at Churchill Downs on Kentucky Derby Saturday is the Grade 2 Distaff Turf Mile Fillies and Mares for $500,000. Let's take a look at this field. And Mike, it's a tough game. I mean, you and I wanted to buy Speak of the Devil in December, and we were the direct underbidders. Peter Brandt just had a little bit more money than us. He went up to $2.2 million.
Yeah, it's time for you to start pulling your weight there, Illman. We could have had this horse. I don't know. It looks like a pretty good spot for her. More than anything else, that she was in good form, towards the end of last year. Feels like she really, really likes a little cut in the ground too, and she might get it.
She is now with who else? Chad Brown, as she prepares for her North American debut. Chad also very well represented by In Italian, who has won her last 3 races. We'll throw up the Timeform US pace. Of course, Speak of the Devil will not have a chiclet because she's been racing in Europe for her career. Lady Spitespear, if she breaks, Lady Spitespear can get to the front. Lady Spitespear didn't break in the Jenny Wiley, and I think In Italian's going to have something to say about the lead.
Yeah, that's probably true. I did sort of feel like Lady Spitespear, if she gets out of the gate, they'll probably try to make the lead with her. In Italian, though, so far, Dan, just really easy speed. I'm not convinced that she necessarily has to be on the lead to be effective, but that's where she's been in her last 3 starts.
The number 1 is She Can't Sing, who is also cross-entered at Churchill Downs on Oaks Friday. She's 10-1 in this spot for Manny Franco. Chris Block is aboard. I know you liked her in the spot on Friday, Mike. She would be coming into this race off 2 victories. It seems like a little bit of a step up in class, but from a speed figure standpoint, she's not far off at all.
Yeah, she's not. The Friday race might be a little bit of a better spot for her, but I don't think she's impossible if they decide to run here. She's got a great post. Her last 2 races are both really good.
Shib McGahee sends out the number 2, Flower Point. Joel Rosario takes the mount 8-1 on the morning line. This horse will be making her 2nd start of the year, and I thought it was a useful performance, her seasonal debut. Let's watch it. The Plenty of Grace Stakes. Aqueduct last time out, it was a short field. There wasn't a ton of pace on. She comes on the outside and she keeps grinding and grinding and grinding, running 3rd to Plum Ali, who is a pretty good horse in her own right. We're going to be hearing a lot of Plum Ali this year.
Yeah, I think so. Both of the 1-2 finishers in this race are newly turned 4-year-olds, and they both have a chance to be major players in this division going forward. Flower Point ran fine in here, Dan. She still has to, sort of prove that she wants these 2-turn route races. Each of her last 2 starts have been 2 turns going a little bit longer at Aqueduct. She ran really well, winning the Forever Together, a really game finish to get up that day. No excuses last time off the layoff, was right alongside Plum Ali for basically that entire race and just got out finished by her, but she still ran an okay race. I think this filly's pretty good.
Another horse cross-entered at Churchill on Friday is the 3, Monastella for Pat Biancone. Florent Giroux, 20-1 in this spot. We're going to watch her last start against Florida-bred competition at Tampa Bay Downs. I thought all in all, it worked out for her in here. She was able to save ground. She tips to the outside. She just wasn't good enough. She was 19-1 against these horses, and the field she'll be facing on Friday and Saturday, boy, they're tougher.
Yeah, just a big step up in class, and she just has to improve. Ran fine in here. Got a really good trip, though. I guess her trip wasn't as good as the winner, Dan, who was 3-5 and loose on the lead. But still, she got a good trip. She didn't even make it close, and she got out finished for 2nd.
I'm a big fan of Ibscan. She's lost 14 consecutive races, but she usually makes it close, and she has tactical speed. She usually puts herself right into the race. I think it's very interesting that Eddie Keneally is going to put blinkers on her for this race. She just missed last time out at Keeneland. Let's watch Ibscan's performance. It was her first start up of a very short going 1 mile and a 16th. She put herself right into the race. She's in with a big chance turning for home, and always a bridesmaid.
Yeah, it's sort of the story of her life. Boy, she does show up and run every time, though. You have to respect that about her, Dan. She just can't quite seal the deal once again. I don't know what to say about her. I could see using her underneath. I'd, be hard pressed to put her on top in this race. Not that it would be like a total shock if she won.
Wakanaca is up next, the number 5, going out for trainer Bill Mott. This horse exit the Honey Fox Stakes that was won by In Italian last time out. Now, In Italian had everything her own way up front. And not only did she make a pretty easy lead through some soft fractions, but she had a 100-1 shot chasing her early. It's not like she was facing a ton of pressure. Wakanaca tried to rally from the back of the pack. I think she did some good things to finish 2nd. She might be a sleeper here for Mott and Jose Ortiz.
I agree with you. I'm, going to give her a little bit of a pass. I didn't love her first start over here in that Pegasus World Cup Filly Mare Turf. That was a better field in this one. She didn't run great, but it was a better field, and maybe she needed the race off of a pretty long layoff. I thought she ran deceptively well last time. Not only did In Italian have all the best of it, this horse got shuffled behind horses around the second turn, lost all kinds of position, and then I thought she finished really well at the end of the race.
Lady Spitespear, the number 6, grade 1 winner on turf in Canada, grade 2 winner on synthetic in Canada. She's come to the States. Will she ever get away from Chad Brown? She chased Bleecker Street in both the Endeavor and the Hillsborough. She chased him again in the Regal Glory in the Jenny Wiley. She lost all chance at the start of that race. She hopped right up at the air. She missed 3 lengths. She was last, and she did well to run third, although you can make the argument somebody had to run third in that race, and it was most likely going to be her.
Yeah, you can give her credit just for getting up for third, considering the trouble she had. The flip side of that is, she was never involved in the race, and the 1-2 finishers were well clear of the rest of that field. Still, though, Dan, I mean, she's good enough to go with horses like this. I feel like cutting back to the flat mile is a really, really good thing for her. And she might find herself on the early lead here. I would never take the 5-2 morning line on her, but I do think she's a contender in this race.
I agree with everything you said. She has races, she has speed, and I do think she will drift off that 5-2 morning line because I think the 7 in Italian will take some money. She's won 3 in a row for Chad Brown. Arad Ortiz takes the mount. Let's watch the Honey Fox, the race in which he defeated Wakanaca with an easy trip on the lead. In Italian up front, sprints for home. Thus far, the Honey Fox has not come back very fast. 5 next out runners, none hit the board, with the best buyer speed figure only being an 88. That being said, it's tough to knock In Italian, who bids this field arrivederci.
Yeah, that's the Wakanaca there, the 8. Just once she got into the clear, really finishing up really well. I'm an Italian fan, Dan. I like all 4 of her races. I think she has a lot of ability, actually, and I don't think we've seen the best race that she can run yet. I'd still just kind of rather have Wakanaca out of that last race because she had so much go wrong for her, and she's going to be a better price.
And from France is Speak of the Devil. If there is rain in the forecast at Churchill Downs on Derby Day, this horse really handles the testing ground they get over there in Europe. She won her last 2 races. She was bought for $2.2 million. Let's talk a little bit about that last race at Saint-Cloud. She showed some good tactical speed, Mike. She found herself in the second flight. They drifted towards the stand side, turning into the stretch. She was very game to win, although I think she was very lucky to hold the bob. One more stride, she loses.
Yeah, maybe that's true. I mean, it's interesting to watch those because you're right. Overall, her trip was a really, really good one. She did come through on the inside to the lead. The horse that wound up second to her actually raced up to her, headed this horse in the stretch, and then Speak of the Devil fought back and wound up prevailing. I thought it was a good performance. I thought her race 2 starts back, Dan, when she won that stakes race over the mile. I thought she ran really well that day. That was a strong performance, a big finish from just off the pace.
And she is Group 1 placed overseas. She has faced some good horses. The distance isn't an issue. She will have to deal with a slight layoff. Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all of DRFTV's latest offerings. Top pick time for the Distaff Turf Mile. I got to go with Speak of the Devil. You got to go with Speak of the Devil. I just have a feeling she's pretty good for Chad. I think this is the right spot for her.
That's how I looked at it too. I just feel like overall she's not meeting, sort of any of the leading lights of this division. So, whether she turns out to be that good or not, this is a great spot to get started in. I'm going to take her on top. I'm going to try to get Mott's horse Wakanaca in the exacta with her.
8-5 for Mike, 8-7-1-3 for me. We're kicking off the graded stakes action at Churchill Downs on Derby Day Saturday with the Distaff Turf Mile.